Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. And we want to welcome you to the first ever episode of the Big Quit, episode 9. And the Big Quit is designed specifically for women who are ready to quit living beneath what God intended for them. Sometimes means that we have to quit things that don't serve us. We have to quit the jobs that don't serve us, stop being super loyal, and we got to quit these businesses that are not generating the right revenue, the right expectation of revenue that we deserve. And one of the ways you can definitely do that is by getting your woman owned, minority owned, uh, historically disadvantaged, historically underused business certification.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people either don't know about it or don't pass. Come on, Wi-Fi, come on back. I,
I know if it was you or me.
I think that was me. But I think she told me something like, "Good morning, Ursula. 3.2 million businesses, and only 1% of them are approved to work with the government, while the government has billions of dollars money waiting for individuals like you." Now, I think sometimes we miss it because we think that, oh, because I sell hair, I'm going to go over here and get a government contract selling hair. And it's not that simple. But what we're going to help you do is align what you can do with what the government needs. Hey, is that you, Abby Abrams? OMG. Your phone number on LinkedIn. People don't know that your skills, your gifts, your talents, they qualify you to work with government at all levels, local, state, federal, and that these are very, very lucrative opportunities. And if you can work a job, then you're definitely qualified to get you a government contract. You just got to do the work to get your certification. So with that being said, for those of you who don't know who I am, of course, my name is Danielle Patterson Winningham. I'm a former JP Morgan Chase Vice President, Master Life and Master Business Coach. And I've been mobbing these internet streets for 12 years. It's been forever. I've seen a lot of money come and a lot of money go. I've seen a lot of people come and a lot of people go. And I think that, in this day and age where everybody says, oh, the internet is your path to a business, I think there needs to be other options available because the internet streets is not for everybody, baby. These internet streets will take your life, okay? If you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, and that takes to get up and running, especially now in such a competitive market, maybe more than you're willing to wait to transition from your job. So if you want more money, go to bit.ly/contract money 2023. I'm super excited about this new podcast. I'm gonna pass the mic to my co-host because she be killing it. She be killing it. I'll pass the mic to my co-host, but we're gonna be here every day, Monday through Friday, at 6:30 a.m. ish. That means between 6:30 and 7. Go ahead, Shanedra.
Girl, go ahead and give me that 30-minute float. I love it, okay? Because we gonna get it
Okay,
done, okay?
we
6:30
get
ish.
we're gonna be here.
We're gonna be here. Okay, well, my name is Shanasia Washington. I'm the proud owner and
Right.
founder of Black Rockets PR, and we really specialize in helping women of color get seen, not only for exposure opportunities, but for big money opportunities, and really showing them how to position themselves. And what Coach said is that if you can work a job,
Mm.
you can get a contract and you can bring in other forms of revenue. You have to sit down and figure out how you can transition those skills, all right, those talents, into something bigger and something greater. And that's what we're committed to help you do in our initiative here. We want to thank you for being here, rocking with us this morning at 7 o'clock. We know y'all busy people, y'all got things going on, but if you tuning in with us, we thank you for being here because we're really trying to change your life at the end of the day. We're really trying to give you a variety of avenues. And like Coach say with the social media, baby, it is changing every day. And we talking about just on one platform. We ain't even talking about keeping up with the changes on all the platforms, just keeping up with the changes on one. Well, baby, it's it's a lot. You have to literally knuck if you buck because it's changing and you don't know where your content is going. You don't know how far it's reaching. You're trying to do everything to kind of stay affluent on these platforms. So if you know that that's not your cup of tea, you need to learn another way. What I love about now, what a time to be alive, because there are so many different ways. Back a few years ago, it wasn't this was not accessible. So the fact that we have so many different avenues, I meet all kinds of millionaires, young and old, and they doing it their way. Okay, so I'm just happy and blessed that we are bringing an opportunity for people who may not want to do it, may not want to be all on front of social media. Me personally, I'm gonna do it everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna do it everywhere, but everybody is not me, and everybody does not want to do that, and that's perfectly fine and okay. So if you want to know more about contracts, more about getting your business certified, head over to bit.ly/contract money 2023 and get on our list because our webinars, I'm not just saying it because it's our webinars, but they be fire.
And guys, this is too. Hey, good morning, Arshia, guys. Thank you so much for sharing the broadcast. This is too, to Shanedra's point, a great time to be alive.
It really is.
And I'm gonna give you 2 words, and these are my catchwords for the year: money diversity.
Mm-hmm.
That means that there is abundance everywhere. But will you look? Or will you sit comfortable and complacent? Good. You know, my boy saying that book, Good to Great, he said, good is the enemy of great. And what that means is that sometimes when we're living good, we don't stretch out towards great.
Been there.
And so we've got to make a decision on what we really want out of our life. And we've got to, oh, thank you, Abby. I'm going to call you as soon as I get out. And we've got to stop settling. We've got to understand that we're capable of more. We're worthy of more. We worked hard to deserve more. And we're okay with working so hard with everybody else and for everybody else and not willing to put in that same level of work for ourselves. We're so quick to say this is too hard. When what is too hard? It's too hard robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Sure is.
It's hard going to a job that doesn't pay you or respect you. That's difficult. It's hard working for 20, 30 years at a job and still not having enough money to retire. That's hard. So sometimes you got to choose your heart. Stop saying that the things you have never even, some people won't even look down the path. And that's a shame. So be willing to give yourself an opportunity. Register for a webinar, bit.ly/contract money 2023. We've got a big event coming up called the Big Quit, where we want to further educate you on how to get free from your job. But here's the thing. When they asked Harriet,
my God,
how many slaves did you free? She said, I freed quite a few, but I could have freed even more if they'd have just known they were slaves. See, at some point, can't nobody free you unless you're ready to be free. You got to take the ball. You got to realize that these times, they are changing. And what was the status quo 10 years ago at 6 figures Baby, you're gonna spend it on eggs in a year if you ain't careful. You're gonna buy $100,000 worth of eggs in a year. So you need to take the environment and be creative. I saw the man on the news has started a business talking about rent a chicken. Girl, they rent a chicken, girl. Good morning, Miss Dolores. So we've got to stop settling for the bare minimum. We've got to stop thinking that abundance is for everybody but us. And we got to know that there are more ways to skin a cat than just that job.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you have a business that's barely making it, there's more ways to get money than just getting your business out on the internet. And the truth of the matter is, if you don't know the internet by now, you're looking at about a minimum of 12 to 24 months to start internet mastery. You're not going to be able to come in off the streets and just start taking over TikTok, because the first place you're going to have to take over the internet is in your mind. And I know it won't go live. A ton of entrepreneurs that every day. It's that consistency that grows you on social media. So if you don't know what to post consistently, then that you got to go there first.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and it's like a big thing because when all this stuff started, it just what it was a platform. Now they got whole educationals and certifications for the actual platform. So this thing has evolved. There are actually courses for Facebook community managers and things. I mean, it's curriculum now. That's how different the social media streets are. And she's right. If you are going to be on social media, and I even notice personally, like if I go and I don't post anything for a day or two, oh, I'm at the bottom of the barrel again. You have to literally keep doing it for you to be able to, have some type of significant reach. And, the beautiful thing about this, this contracting thing, yes, it's going to require work. I always put that out there as a disclaimer, but you get to pick and choose what kind of work you want to show up for. You get to choose to say, okay, I'm going to be more entitled to do this paperwork, more entitled to understand my gifts and talents and how I can, infuse those into contracts. You get to do that on this side. And, Coach and I always talk about as we have, we started our journeys, we both have similar journeys and, kind of leaving corporate America. If we knew this, if we knew this at the time that we were making our transition, how different it will be. Like I always say that I am very proud of my journey, even knowing it at this point, because like I say, I've also too gained a bunch of other assets along the way to get here. So I'm not discounting it. But had I known this 2 years ago, who knows? Oh, I know where my business, really could have been within that 2 year mark, because I'm really meeting people more and more readily that contracting is changing their lives. It's allowing them to leave their jobs. Is allowing them to actually not only start these businesses, but scale them very quickly. That
That's
scale
the
part was
thing.
like, wow,
It's the
because I
scale
think
for me.
it's the scale. That's right, Coach. It's the
It's the
scale for
scale
me.
for me.
It's the scale, because sitting in that same revenue mark year after year after year, barely making it. I don't care if you are a business owner. Would you say brokepreneur? What would you be saying?
Brokepreneur.
I
And guys,
mean,
we don't, I know it's that we don't know better, but
right,
here's what I challenge
right,
everybody to do. If you're looking around you and other people are living great, if
yeah,
you don't wake up every day and say, why not me? Stop self excluding, stop leaving yourself out. Start to say, why not me? What are they doing different that I could be doing myself? Not as a mode of comparison and comparing yourself to
right.
somebody else, but just understanding that, greatness is for everybody, abundance is for everybody. This money out here is for everybody. And that's why our goal is to get 1,000 ready to make are you one? Are you one that wants to transition out of making? Because the average African
Mm-hmm,
American owned business, woman owned business, makes $24,000 a year.
mm-hmm.
They ain't really even got. They call that what do they call them when they less than 10 contracts? You ain't even got to have a certification to get government money less than $10,000. So
No, you don't.
they don't even put contracts out really at that level.
They don't.
No. So you have to give yourself, you have to say to yourself, I'm ready to learn something different. I'm ready to do something different. Maybe what I'm doing is not enough. Maybe what I'm doing doesn't doesn't work. And I know it's, you know what makes it, Troy always say that I hate being wrong, and it's not that.
Mm.
But I try so hard that when I'm wrong, I feel some kind of way. So I know with women, you tried so hard. And so you're like, oh my God, I've been working like a dog. I did everything you told me to do.
Yeah.
I went to college.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to do a whole segment about when college isn't enough. I did everything you told me to do. I got a good job. But sometimes a good job is not enough.
Mm.
But I followed all the rules. I stayed out of trouble, you know. I but you still trying to tell me I don't have access to the promised land. So I understand that women are incredulous. Like, what more is there for me to do? But guys, there is another way. And you owe it to yourself to give yourself an opportunity. Even if you've never ran a business, you owe it to yourself to sit and say, my skills into something different. And you know, Snedger will be on the lookout for y'all. She's like, okay, coach, sometimes they're not going to be able to just take, what they do now and put it into a government contract. I said, but I can do that in one lesson.
Yep.
I can help you translate your skills. All you got to do is bring us the willingness.
Yeah.
All you got to do is be willing to show up with no excuses, wanting something different for yourself, wanting something different for your life. Guys, this is the opportunity to get free. I suggest you take it. bit.ly/contract money 2023. What's the worst that could happen? Maybe you learned something, you know, and that's one thing. Shanedra said yesterday, we did this interview, and she said, I'm going to always be learning.
Mm-hmm.
It's learning, right? It's the moment that we stop learning that, guys, we're in trouble because this world is ever evolving. Opportunities are ever becoming available. And at the point where we say, oh, well, I've got enough, I'm just going to go sit down and stop being in search of more abundance, stop looking for more opportunities, is the point where we're going to miss out. And your 70-year-old self, your 80-year-old self,
Mm-mm.
going to be standing in line greeting at Walmart because you wouldn't learn these lessons now. It's critical to all women
It
that,
is.
because quitting your job is nothing but a number.
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm.
There's no big, I used to, there has to be this big, massive strategy and
Yeah.
execution. If somebody writes you a check
Mm-hmm.
equivalent to what you make on your job in a year, you can leave.
Yeah, you can.
You ain't got to get no clearance from nobody.
Mm.
You ain't got to put no notice in. If somebody says, okay, how much do you make a year? 55,000, 65,000, 75,000. You win one contract for that amount and you can go. You're free to move about the country.
That's
Because
it.
what else is there?
What else? And you're right. I think, even, in my journey, even though I was doing the right things, getting the education, trying to keep the faith and stuff, I still made it a little bit more complicated than it had to be. And that's just the reality of it, because it really is just that number. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really is. And when I could finally see that in my spirit and that was a game changer. It really was. And I had to think about it. I said, I need my best parts of me to build my stuff. I can't give them that. I can't give them the fresh ideas. I need my best part of me to build my thing. Like, whatever falls through the crack and y'all get what's left over, that's what you get. But I had to even think about that. Like, I got to sow over here. I got to put everything, all the ideas, the energy, the faith, all that. It got to go over here. I don't have enough to give them and this. I just don't. I didn't. And it wasn't until I took that level. It wasn't until I took that level of commitment that said, Shanadra, baby, no, ma'am. You know the kind of person that you are. You know that you're going to be dedicated. You know you're going to stay the course, baby. You ain't even equipped to be a toddler.
That's what I don't get, Shanadra. Most of these women show out at their job. If you show out at your job, put me in the chat. We don't, they don't let us stay if we not high performers.
Oh, they don't.
Now let's just get this right. So by the very fact that you've been at your job for 10 years, 12 years, 14 years, 16 years, that means at some level they deem you highly qualified, because they don't let us stay if we're not top performers.
Big facts.
So you to shift that top performance to yourself. Shift that commitment to yourself.
That's it.
And that's the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the hard part for women, is that we believe in a job before we believe in us.
And do. Because I love that you said that if we don't get the option to fly under the radar at these places, so you got to be put, you got to be putting in something. And I'm telling y'all real stuff I battle with. Like, even when I was like, girl, what you gonna do? You just been doing all this financial stuff. Like, what can you actually do? And then all the truth started hitting me. Girl, you don't even like this stuff. You don't even like this stuff. You have been so programmed and performing at something so high that you don't even like for all this time. So you mean to tell me if I can sit up here and high perform on stuff that I didn't realize I don't even like, stuff that's readily changing, ain't never got no training, ain't never got this, and you can high perform off that? Now imagine if you found something that you actually love to do. Imagine if you was actually could do that in your passion. Be a top performer on that. I'm finna kill them, girl.
Okay. I can't answer this one, girl. Where the knife? Because you murdered the police, gonna be knocking at your door. SWAT team outside right now because you killed it. But it's true. I think that we need to come up with a new version of work.
Yeah, for sure.
And it needs to be one or two things. Mm-hmm. It needs to be, maybe I don't love it, but you writing me a check so big.
Come on.
See, I'm finna show you.
You already been doing it for the change over there. You ain't love it over there, and they was giving you change. So you gonna cut me a big check? Oh, okay, I already got.
I'm gonna find a way to love it.
Yeah, it's different.
So either I'm gonna go over here and do what I do, and get your big check, and maybe I don't love it.
Yeah.
But because I'm getting that big check means I don't have to do it forever.
Talk about it.
Or I'm going to go over here and do something I love and get a big check. So what part of that is not optional? The big check.
Come on, girl.
The big check. Because I lied to myself for a long time that I love my job. And the truth of the matter is, I really didn't love the job. I really thought that I loved the money.
Yeah.
and sense of,
Yeah.
it was an accomplishment to make that much money. When I started working, I think my first job I made $2.10 or 20 cents an hour, and that's how they start us.
That's the waitress. You was a waitress.
No,
What you was doing for $2?
girl, working in a grocery store, girl.
Doing
I was
what?
14, girl. This 40 years ago.
That's crazy, man. That's
Two
crazy.
dollars and some change. I think it was $2.35 an hour.
My God.
And I tried my best to work 40. And I was going to school and playing basketball. And I tried my best to work 40 hours every week, baby.
They trying to. I'm trying to figure it out too. They say, "Babe, what was you doing for $2?" They say, "What is
Girl,
it?"
working hard. I was a cashier.
It's not funny. That's really crazy, baby.
But
$2.
when you start at a $2 mindset,
That's
look,
it.
do me a favor, everybody. Post how much you made at your first job an hour. So, Sinead, what was your first job?
Everybody be saying my first job was actually at AIG, a large insurance company. I know everybody they always try to ding me over the head about my background, but whatever. Yes, I did. At 16, I started working at
Right.
AIG.
We know everybody
Okay.
else. Everybody else. How old were you when you got your first job? And how much did you make? Ursula said she made $4.63. That was good.
Dang.
She said she made $5.25.
Dang.
And that probably was what? 20 years ago. How many years ago was that, Arshia? So I'm telling you, I remember when the minimum wage standard went up to like $4.25.
That is so crazy.
And that was in like 1990, I think. Abby said $5.25, and Abby, you was on the East Coast.
She probably getting a little more than that, you thought, huh?
No, that is more than $2.25. $5.25.
Yeah, that's double.
Ursa said she was 13. She was making $50 for the weekend. That's better. That's pretty good now.
Yeah, and that $50 could go some places at that time.
I'm just saying. Let me see what. Let me see. Make sure I ain't lying. Yeah. In 1971, minimum wage was $1.60 an hour. In 1981, when I got my first job, it was $2.10 an hour. I know I ain't told no lies.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. I knew I hadn't told no lies. So by 1985,
Mm-hmm.
minimum wage was $3.05 an hour. In 1991, minimum wage went up to $4 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So when you start making money at that lower level and you get to six figures a year, which is what? And girl, you think you're making some money. I
Yeah,
thought
you
I was
do.
making big, I thought I was making big cheap cash.
Yeah.
But then when you reverse engineer and break all them hours you was working back down the calculator, you back to $4 an hour. You better be careful now.
Dang.
So, if you when you start at a $5 hour mindset, it's hard to even imagine yourself making high 6 and 7 figures a year. But it's possible.
It is.
And with these contracts, you don't even have to break your brain to do it. Once you get in there and you start seeing the value of these contracts and start seeing them get awarded, you'll know that it's possible for you to. And that's what we need to start doing, especially as African American women, is understanding that our possibilities are as big or as small as we allow them to be.
And you
And
know what, Coach? As you're speaking, this is what makes what we offer so valuable, okay? Because these type of conversations, these are not going to happen at these programs that you show up to. I'm serious. Even if they say that they're helping you, because the part of it is that we have so much internally to overcome to get to the process that they're not speaking to. And that's what I'm telling them. I'm not saying you got to go and baby and massage somebody, but we have a lot of internal stuff that we got to work through to even get to this process. That's what makes this community and this process so valuable. Because yeah, you can go over there and sign up for some of these programs and stuff, and it's gonna say, here's the docket. And once you realize that you don't know how to weave and wave into what they got going on, you gonna want to back out. So you need to be around people that's gonna tell you, no, girl, this is what you do, and this is how you say this to get that. And we lacking that. I talk about this all the time. Like, who is on the ground making this feel like something that's actually accessible? I understand your programs, and I'm not knocking them. Good. But my thing is, you got to speak a certain language. I ain't saying be loud, be this, be that, but you got to speak a language that shows these women and these minorities that this could be something for you. This could be, and here's why. What do you do exactly? What have you done? Not your job. What have you done in your life? Pulling out
but,
this stuff.
but see, not even that. I'm going to go one step back
Mm,
and say they're not going to work with you on your believability. And that's
not,
why people are not sticking.
not.
If I knew I'm going to get 100,000, 200,000, $500,000, $1 million contract, you wouldn't be able to beat these people off the process.
Mm,
Girl,
mm-hmm,
them people would be camped out like
mm-hmm,
they was at Best Buy all
mm-hmm,
day and all night with their tents and their children.
mm-hmm,
It's the believability that becomes first.
mm,
It's the
mm-hmm.
mindset. And these people are not going to work with you on your mindset.
Not.
They're not. If you give up, you give up. If you don't finish the process, you don't finish the process. Nobody's going to
Yeah.
call and check on you.
Nope.
Nobody's going to make sure you're okay. Did you understand the lesson? That's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why so many people are missing the mark.
Yeah.
So, if you need that level of support, and everybody does, go to bit.ly/contract money 2023. Put Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on your agenda. We got a major event coming up soon that you don't want to miss. If you're somebody that is ready to quit living below the status quo, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Quit living below the status quo. I want you guys to invite your new friends to our show. Uh, Make sure you tune into our podcast that's coming soon, called The Big Quit, and just stay engaged. There's something that you're doing right now that is not serving your higher self. There's something you're doing right now that
Yeah.
is not serving the best intent you have for your life. There's something you're doing right now that if you were to change it, would change the trajectory of where you're going. I know we was all taught don't be quitters,
Yeah.
but we got to start quitting the things that don't serve us. Anything else you want to add in closing, Shanendra?
No, ma'am. That's it.
Well,
That's
guys,
it.
we did it. We've been saying we was, and we was every day between 6:30 and 7 a.m. ish. Make sure you tune in on LinkedIn, Facebook Live, YouTube, YouTube, and all other forms of social media. And coming soon, our podcast opportunity. If you want to and invite your friends. Let them diversity is in full effect. Common has a video, I think it's a Microsoft video, and he says we have more tools and technology
Yeah.
available to us now than
Yeah.
ever before to help the industry a man. What will you do with it? And that's how I'm gonna end this note today. On that note today, guys, you got more access to more
Yeah.
trainings, more money, more abundance, more opportunities. You don't have to work a job, and you don't have to go start this massive internet business. There are other options that you have to look at. But what will you do with it? All right. Thank you guys. See you guys tomorrow morning.